Yeah,
Awesome.
awesome. We are live. How's everyone doing?
Hello, beautiful people.
Right? Freelance Business Week has been exciting. We had that panel was awesome. So if you missed it, you should definitely go watch the recording because that panel we had earlier was fire. Uh,
Are you
I'm
based in
Livio.
Miami?
I'm based in Miami. Yeah, I'm Livio. I'm based in Miami. Um, that was that your question? I just heard the question.
Yeah, that was just my question. I just want to know if you were based in Miami because over here in New York, I have my heater on. So I'm really
Nice.
jealous.
No, I have my AC on.
Lucky.
So to cool off, but yeah, I'm based in Miami. I've been one of the Miami co-organizers. Here we have one of our colleagues, Cynthia, who's going to tell us everything about how to effectively market your freelance business without breaking your piggy bank. I think it's especially important for people starting out to really have that sort of strategy. So I'm pretty sure Cynthia is gonna fill in those knowledge gaps that you might have, and it's gonna be a quick practical session. So stick around and learn a lot. Anyway, don't forget to comment, put questions in the comments if you have them, and upvote the talk if you like it, so that we can send a final report at the end of the summit, at the end of the conference. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna hand it off to you. I'm gonna hop off the stream. You can start sharing screen, and we can get started.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we're
You can
ready.
see my screen. Okay, awesome. Well,
Go.
I am super excited to be here, and it is amazing to be a part of and partner with a conference like the Freelance Business Week, an organization that supports hustlers like you and me. And that is so cool. So, today I'm going to talk to you about how to market your freelance business without wasting money. Who wants to spend money? I mean, who wants to waste it at least? So, a little bit about me. I am a paid media strategist, which means I use Google ads and Facebook ads to scale businesses, and I teach people to do the same. Everything I do is really grounded by my mission to help businesses and people grow. That is my mission statement. Some more about me. I've worked with award winning digital marketing agencies managing enterprise level accounts for big brands such as Capital One, Chase, as well as small to medium sized direct to consumer brands, and even mom and pop shops. I've previously worked with Damon John from ABC Shark Tank. I managed his company's marketing department here in New York City. That company is called the Shark Group. And I've generated over 10 million in revenue for my paid media clients. I'm also a coach. I help coaching clients pursue a fulfilling career in digital marketing. One of my clients recently just nabbed a job in Chicago, hit the six-figure mark as a paid media strategist, and also managing his own clients at the same time. So shout out to him. And as a paid media strategist, the way my mind is working, I'm constantly working to sculpt traffic. I'm constantly looking to reduce wasted spend, while working to uniquely position my client's brand amongst a sea of competition. Excuse me. So I'm always making sure I'm implementing a marketing strategy that actually pushes the needle. So not necessarily doing a little bit of everything, not wasting precious energy, resources, and budget. Instead, I'm working to be optimal and effective. So, with all that said, based on my experience and based on what I've seen, if you're starting out, you don't need all of this, right? You don't need a fancy $5,000 logo. You don't need to boost all your posts on Instagram. You At this point, if you're starting off, you don't even need to run ads. You don't need a fancy custom $10,000 website. There's plenty of other tools available that are much more cost effective. And believe it or not, you don't need to buy every course available. What you need instead, actually, is clarity. So here's what you're going to learn today: a bit of breakdown how to position yourself to attract your ideal clients, which will allow you to choose the kind of people you really want to work with, people that you're aligned with, right? Charge more, which will allow you to work less, and maximize your marketing efforts without spending a boatload of money with these 6 effective marketing tips. We'll dive into it now. Marketing tip number 1: do not, I repeat, do not be everything to everyone. Okay? You want to really anchor in your services and be clear on who it is that you serve. Because at the end of the day, we cannot be all things to all people. So many of us try to please everyone, believing that if we do so, we'll be accepted, we'll be validated, etc. And when we do that, we actually end up sacrificing our own boundaries in the pursuit of trying to please clients. So I have a little bit of a nightmare story for you. And maybe you can relate as a freelancer, especially if you're in the marketing industry, because there's so many different departments within marketing, so many different skill sets. So I had a nightmare situation with a previous client, right? And with this client, I had tried to do a little bit of everything to please the client and get paid, right? Trying to pay my bills. And I ended up becoming their social media person. I was their ads person. I ran all their ads. I was their content marketing person. I was their SEO person. I was managing their website. And basically, I had the job of a marketing director, both the strategy and the implementation. And unfortunately, I got paid like a virtual assistant. And that really hurt my bank account. It hurt because there was so much scope creep. And I felt like the client didn't value my time and my energy. But the reason they didn't is because I didn't. I didn't value my time, my energy by clearly defining my boundaries within, like, verbally and within my contracts. So it turns out when you don't make the rules or set appropriate boundaries, right, your clients make them for you. It's a very tough lesson to learn, and maybe you've learned it already. And this is why I highly, highly recommend that you niche down once you've obtained clarity, once you know who it is, what it is that you do, what's in your zone of genius, and who it is that you serve. Um, because specializing in that will allow you to actually charge more. So, some ways to help you find your niche: identify the problems that you solve. For me, as a paid media strategist, and when it comes to brands, I am their problem, right? Their problem is generating profit online through online advertising, and their problem is growing their business. Or a lack of growth rather. So what I do is I help them build profitable, creative paid media campaigns to grow and scale their business. Assess the landscape. Figure out if there's demand for something that you're looking into niche into. You can use free tools like Google Trend and Keyword Planner, and you can go ahead and type in the area in which you're trying to niche down into, search that, and see if it's trending up or see if it's trending down. That's a good indication there. And more importantly, have conversations and conduct surveys with your target market. When I was looking to specialize in e-commerce a little bit more, I reached out to a ton of e-commerce business owners on Facebook, like through Facebook groups. And I shot out a ton of surveys using like Google Forms, right? And from all the input that I got back, this took a while actually. I had to chase a lot of people. Anyways, turns out a big pain point that they had was trusting the right marketing partner to with their online advertising. So I read that, I'm gathering data, and I'm like, cha-ching. Clearly that's a problem that I can solve. That's within my wheelhouse, and clearly this is a good direction to move in. So it's a good product market fit. Marketing tip number 2. It's a good gift, right? Guys, we live in a noisy world with a ton of information. So whatever industry that you're in, there are 1,000 of other people like you trying to get noticed. So unless you distinguish yourself, you'll really never get a chance to show how truly different you are. So research your competition and ask yourself, what makes you different? What can you do better? And when you're researching your competition, check their website, check their social media profiles, check all of it, right? Really dig deep. You can also try this exercise. And this is an exercise that I do myself when I have like a crazy idea, because I have crazy ideas literally every other second of the day. I ask myself, is it scarce? And you can ask yourself too. Ask yourself, what is scarce? What is there not a lot of, but has a lot of demand? That right there, just thinking in that mindset will help you find that edge that really sets you apart. Some additional strategies to differentiate here. You can offer a lower price or discount compared to your competitors. You can also become more convenient than competitors. Maybe you can save the client time and be super easy to work with by having a systematic workflow in place. And this one's really important, guys. Focus on solving a problem rather than selling a service. Um, for example, just to really drive this one home, if you sell video production services, right? Position the videos that you craft as solving a specific problem. So the videos you craft helps generate leads for your SaaS business, or generate leads for your dry cleaning business, or increase engagement and views on your YouTube channel. Marketing tip number 3, demonstrate trust. People hire vendors who they trust will get the job done. When I'm hiring a contractor, I check their website, I'm checking their LinkedIn, I'm checking their social profiles, because I want to see proof that they can get the job done, that this is a legitimate professional. And I don't want to get scammed. I don't think I know anyone that actually wants to get scammed, right? So you can demonstrate trust by having a clean website that clearly outlines your services. It's mobile friendly and has a decent picture of you, maybe even a video talking about what it is that you do, to establish that you're a real person and I could trust you. Some great drag and drop website builders that are cost effective. You can use Squarespace and Wix. They have some really great templates. You don't have to buy like that $10,000 custom website by a digital marketing agent. You don't have to do that. They have great options available for you. And another thing, um, when I'm sending paid traffic to my clients' landing pages, right? There's this thing that I bring up, and it's called the usability test. It's called the 5-second rule, 5-second test. And this test is simple, that you should apply for your own website. You could do it right now. You don't need a fancy marketing software. You could just run it right now. So the test is, if I'm on your website for 5 seconds, right? And I don't know what it is that you do, your prospect is not going to know either. Your prospect is not going to know what you do, and then they're going to bounce. So make sure you clearly articulate what it is that you do and who you serve, and make sure you do that. You can register that within 5 seconds, especially on your website, but that can apply to even your social media profiles and your LinkedIn as well. You also want to be presentable on social media, especially LinkedIn. This is a platform that I use aggressively as a freelancer. So on LinkedIn, I recommend that you work to get recommendations, and feature them. And you can even take them and copy and paste that onto your website, right? Because this shows that you're trustworthy. This shows that you get the job done. And you can start by getting recommendations from people that you've previously worked with. You just want to show that you're decent to work with, and you're personable, and ideally from past clients. Marketing tip number 4. Showcase your work with case studies. Now, when you're showing your work through case studies that speaks directly to your ideal client, and that builds credibility. And when you show your process, and when you show the challenges that you've overcome within that project, that positions you as more than just a photographer, more than just a marketer, more than just a videographer or graphic designer. You're now seen as a strategist. You're seen as a true problem solver. So anything that I throw your way, you can solve it. You can get the job done. That positions you really nicely. And your process, more importantly, can be the thing that uniquely sets you apart, and it positions you in a way that is completely different from anyone in your industry. And that alone, even your process can, like the fact that you have a different process, can allow you to charge more. an example of this is one of my friends who's he's a video producer, and he makes videos for brands. So he has a very unique approach, and his approach is when he's working with a brand, he defines the brand's customer avatar. He researches the competitive landscape. He assesses unique selling propositions within the brand, right? So it's a very like brand strategy approach, and he charges more because of that, because he has a more like a thought, more strategic approach, more like labor involved, or at least thought involved, and also the impact of the video. So he can charge more because the impact on the video is more effective on the brand. Marketing tip number 5. Put yourself out there, guys. Some ways to put yourself out there. Listen, start just spreading the word. Let everyone that you know in your immediate network know what it is that you do. Showcase it on your social media profiles. Show it, the title on your LinkedIn. I actually got my first client from leveraging my immediate network. Or my existing network. Um, One of my grandma's friend's son owns a digital marketing agency, and I reached out to him and I let him know, hey, I can generate leads for your business. We're looking to build case studies, and he knew who I was already, and in exchange, I'll offer you a discounted rate to generate more leads for you. And boom, that was my first client right there. You can also develop a content marketing machine. And aside, when you put out content, really just focus on 2 platforms, ideally just 1, because your energy is absolutely finite, and you want to be effective here. You can attract your ideal clientele by creating content that answers their most common questions, right? You can also write thought provoking pieces within your industry to position yourself as a thought leader and an expert on LinkedIn, on Medium, on your blog. You can take that long form content as well and chop it down into smaller chunks and reposition it use it as posts for LinkedIn or for Twitter, for Instagram. So you can create micro content from macro content as well. You can also answer questions related to your industry on platforms like Quora and Reddit. Providing value upfront shows that you really know your stuff, and it increases the chances of inquiries surrounding what it is that you do, the services that you provide. You can also join communities. I am a part of a ton of communities on Facebook related to my industry, where a lot of e-commerce businesses lie. Um, I'm also a part of some Slack communities as well. This might be a great way to build some referrals. If someone in your community or within that community can't handle a certain client because of their workload, they can offload it onto someone else, and that might be you. And also virtual conferences like this. So, congratulations on putting yourself out there. And as you grow, really work to build a community. This is how you build. So, building a community is how you build your network of potential referrals, like I mentioned before. Um, when you have, so for example, I run a newsletter, and I have a Facebook group of like digital marketers there. And all of the content that questions that are asked within that Facebook group, I use it as ideas to answer for pieces of content. It all coordinates, it all connects. And on top of that, I actually received an inquiry yesterday from someone within my Facebook community, a potential lead. And the reason why they reached out to me is because I'm leading that group, right? And I'm seen as a trusted advisor and an expert. And lastly, marketing tip number 6. This one's my absolute favorite. Be authentic. And this is something that is not spoken about enough. There's a lot of anxiety and stigmas that are attached to letting our clients see us as who we really are, like our flaws and all, right? But honestly, I believe that that is the best thing that you could do for your career, being authentic, your client relationships as well, and your overall mental health. So, this right here is an interesting story. This is a comment that I received on a video, on an interview that I did on YouTube with one of my friends, and he asked me questions about the digital marketing industry. He asked me questions related to how I got into it, how I got into the digital marketing community, or industry, how I managed to nab a job with Damon John, and how I manage my own freelance clients and stuff like that. And as I'm explaining to my friend my process, I'm explaining to him how I did it, whatever, I'm talking and I'm being myself and I drop a couple of F bombs here and there. Like, that's just how I talk. I don't think it was a way that really distracted, that was like you couldn't understand what I was saying or anything. It just slipped out here and there. I'm from New York. Anyways, this is what the comment said. It's hilarious. He wrote, I'm researching the digital marketing industry, but I can tell you from a corporate world perspective, Cynthia needs to try and use professional language when in public and slash or business people research her. She will be more successful and taken more seriously. Dropping an F bomb indiscriminately projects a lack of discipline and respects for her audience slash future business partners. I read that and I was like, whoa, I gave it a dislike, by the way. That was me. Um, I read that and at first I was like, screw this guy. Who is he? But after a minute I thought about it and I was like, is he right? I mean, this is me, like, I felt like I was being myself. I just left out an F bomb here and there. I wasn't crazy. Um, is that preventing me to get to the next level? Is that why like, is that leading to a lack of prospects? Do my clients think I don't take them seriously? Uh, so I meditated on it and I thought about it some more and I gave him this really heartful, thoughtful, thought-provoking response. That was my response. And I got some likes too. My clients love me because I am straightforward. I am an honest marketer. And they enjoy that from me. They enjoy working with me. That's why I landed one of my biggest clients from being myself. So, your ideal clients care about the value that you provide. They do not care what you say or what you look like. They care about results at the end of the day. They don't care if I curse here and there. I mean, they care about results. My clients curse too here and there. It's not a big deal. So, when your ideal client sees you as authentically human, right? It builds a level of trust that's pretty much impossible to fake. You can't fake that. And that trust leads to higher retention. I feel very confident that my competitors can't swoop in and take my clients simply because my clients like me for me. They not only enjoy the results that I provide, but they like how I deliver it. That's my secret sauce and that's something that you just can't replicate. It's authentic. It also fosters a better partnership, right? It increases the odds of a successful product at the end of the day because you actually care about the work. You're excited about the end product. You care about your client. You care about their business. You're going to put that extra TLC because of that. And your client, they notice. They really do. And because differentiating is crucial, like I mentioned before, you can escape competition through authenticity. This can be an even this is like a positioning strategy, even just being authentic, being your authentic self, and you shouldn't be afraid to play up your personality. Play up your personality within your content. Play up your personality within your content and your website because I do it. I make little funnies here and there on my website. This is a section on my website where I'm listing out like results. So you can think I'm really cool and hire me. So it says 7x average ROAS, return on ad spend across all client accounts, 4x average growth among year over year clients, and over 1,000 cups of coffee. It's well in the millions, like maybe billions. I don't know. I'm jacked off on coffee right now, but you end up attracting your ideal clients that you vibe with when you put out your authentic self. And that's the case with me. You know, my clients that I work with, they have a similar sense of humor. And I genuinely enjoy working with them. So please don't be afraid to show up your personality. As long as you can clearly communicate it and, you know, it's not getting in the way of results, play up your personality, if anything. That's a huge marketing tool. And I'd like to close this on my favorite quote, my favorite Dr. Seuss quote, and probably my all-time favorite quote. It goes, "Be who you are and say what you feel, because the ones who mind don't matter, and the ones who matter do not mind." So, thank you guys so much for this, and I hope that, you know, these 6 tips really go a long way for you and already get your brain churning on ways you can better position yourself, on ways you can better market your freelance business so that you generate more revenue and you're working with clients that you really enjoy. It's totally possible, guys.
That was awesome. Thank you, Cynthia. That was really really awesome. Especially
Yeah.
loved your secret sauce. It's true. To
You
I
always
think
gotta add a
authenticity.
secret sauce.
Yeah, I think authenticity is something that's taken me the furthest with my clients, and the clients that I've kept are because we are the ones that we have been authentic to each other, um, no matter the
Absolutely.
scope of the project. And I think that's a very very important for everyone to carry around. So yeah, that concludes the last session. We didn't have any questions in the comments, so no
Cool,
questions for
cool.
you, but that was a great presentation. I think it's a great way to close the afternoon. So thank you, Cynthia.
Awesome. Yes, thank
Thank
you so
you.
much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, have a great evening, everyone. Afternoon, night, evening, wherever it is that you are. And thank you all for coming. So
Thank you, guys. Be well.